that they've got a main room for, and they can take 2 women on a scholarship.
But like,
I think they couldn't afford that.
Just the thing is, like, they should be like, when they talk about this shit, it should be like kind of remorseful, right? Or like, oh man, this is fucked up. Like, we're really trying to do everything we can to like make sure this doesn't happen. And like, you know, instead it's like a joke to them. They're like, oh man, we had a crazy day. Like, it's a men's sober living now. And then like Sarah's in the background, like smirking, like I'm not stupid. And like clearly her and Britt had some type of issue. Sarah's the little fucking puppet master in the background all the time. I don't know how the fuck she gets away with this shit and doesn't orchestrates all this shit, being like a grad that fucking like took off and like didn't care about Graceland, then comes back and somehow is now in the grad house after like 3 months. But she's manipulative. She's shady as fuck. Sarah is like Mean Girls, like to the max. Like she's super fucking crazy. And so like she's in the background smirking. And then here's the thing is they have Zach on there, right? And Zach has said many of times when I was in the house, Zach was like, oh, dude, bro, like, you know, I stand up for girls, man. I care about girls so much now that I have a little daughter, all this shit. It puts on all this act. And like this thing happens. But because he's under their spell and because he's so bought into their bullshit and he's trapped in their little community, that's his only option. Like, he can't fucking stand up for these people and oppose what they're saying or doing because then he'll be ostracized. You know?
Have you seen the video, Matthew? Have you seen the video they posted? So there's a video from in the house. We think it's from Sarah because it's Sarah videoing it of when she went back to the house this afternoon. Have you seen it?
No.
You want to see it?
Crazy.
Sure.
They're shaming the shit out of Sarah. You got to see the like gang up they did while they're all sitting in the room.
Wait, they're shaming Sarah?
No, Britt, she misspoke.
Okay.
They keep posting videos of her in the house. Luckily, one of them, the videos the sound got removed, but they're gonna keep posting videos of Britt because she talked tonight.
If you think I'm stuck in the city, and if you guys think recovery, like you give a I told you I'd Uber you wherever you want. And I didn't even get to choose on. I choose a hotel that. Okay, so you would sit there and tell me where you want to go, and I was gonna Uber. And I said I need. How'd you get here without Ubering? I got the Uber back. And I know the code. Like, I'm not playing around. So where do you want to go? And I'll Uber you. It ain't about the Uber. I ain't going to a fucking place to get high. I ain't getting high. This ain't about high. Okay, so you're not saying here. I'm not buying a room. So I will take you wherever you want to go. I don't give a fuck if it's a $200 Uber. I'll Uber you. So bring us to a place to get high. That's what this is. I don't know where you want me to take you. If you're recording me, I'm going to tell you right now, you won't like what I put online.
Post whatever you want.
We're not putting your phone down. Brittany,
There's a voice in the background.
I'm not buying a hotel room. Okay, so then you're just going to send me to a drug house. That's what you got. Where can you go? Where do you want to go? Everyone will write the word, right? That's it. As long as you get your views. All right, so it's either you tell me where you want to go or I'm going to call the cops. Which I need to calm down and I will do. Okay, great. We can do that. So give me an address. 38121 Central Street. Put your phone down, Sarah.
Wait, did they just put the address that she was going to online?
Yes.
Shit.
Yep.
What's the address?
38121.
Can I say it without camera? I'm not kidding. Put your camera down. And give me 3 minutes without confirmation if you think.
And then what it says here is when you're on a scholarship, then break every major rule, threaten residents and accuse people of heinous things, have the house pay for your Uber to a hotel, and then you take the Uber back to attack the house because they won't pay for your hotel room. And then they also tagged Teapot.
Graceland did?
Yeah. Well, no, it's not Graceland. So this account, Red Light Saber.
But it's
It's just-
Sarah's video.
And Madison reposted the video.
Wow, that's so, dude, they're straight burnt these days, dude. It's worse than the place has ever been. Like, I don't get how they don't have somebody that like is just like, dude, you guys are fucking up big time. Like they think that all of this is they've convinced themselves that this is good.
They're saving people. Did you see the video at dinner?
They took it down. Someone just pointed out.
Oh, so Pat posted a video of like Madison, Sarah, Pat, Zach. They're
Oh
all
yeah,
out to
yeah.
dinner.
That's the one
Yeah,
I
and then they
saw.
were like, but then they were talking about like, oh, well, why isn't Nick here? Why the fuck would Nick Harris be at a dinner with staff when he also got caught for sleeping with a resident? Why would they take
Wait,
him out
he's
to dinner?
there?
No. Pat said, why isn't Nick here? And Madison was like, oh, well, he had to work, dude.
Yeah. Did you see that they fucking said where he works?
Yes, it's like
Yep.
the 10th time they've done it.
Apparently the video is actually
Dude,
still
I have
up,
a
by the way.
membership at fucking LA Fitness. I have a membership with a +1. Like, I feel like me and I Am Doug need to go to fucking LA Fitness and Agora.
You want to get stared at again?
Dude, oh fuck, dude, we'll make shirts.
I know,
We'll make
Nick
shirts
used
with
to
his
freak
face
out
on it
by
that
it.
just says Predator, and just go there and just work out all day, every day. And people would be like, "Hey, isn't that the guy that works here and cleans the bathroom?" And we'll be like, "Yeah, yeah." But no, I mean,
Just
I'm kind
wild.
of joking. But like, I mean, you know, my crazy ass like actually like thinks like that, you know.
Well,
But
and apparently Allie got kicked out as well because she went in the grocery store bathroom after and she hooked up with Keaton. And
Wait,
so
did
they
they do it in the grocery store bathroom as
It
well?
was in the
Yes,
grocery. No,
yes.
she said that Allie and Keaton went in first, so then she and Nick went in after that.
What the fuck? This is... you
Nick
can't-
and Schmeck's
can't
in the
make this shit
bathroom.
up.
He loves that shit.
that's so crazy. Like, so there's rules that got okay. So I get what happened is Nick and Keaton were together. So Allie was watching Britt, and then Nick and Keaton, they're phased up enough. And so it was a little contract between the four of them, basically like, hey, let's take turns banging these chicks in the bathroom. Yeah, no. When I first left, Keaton's girlfriend at the time, whatever she is now, she messaged me and she was like, "Hey, I haven't talked. He hasn't returned my calls or texts in like a week. Like, is he okay? Blah blah blah." And like, I knew some shit was going down already. I didn't know that they were hooking up, but I knew something weird was going on with him and you know not wanting to talk to his girlfriend. And I told her, I said, hey, you know, it's really not my place to like discuss this with you. You need to hear it from him himself. Like, but he, you know, you need to really try to get a hold of him because I think there's some things that you guys need to talk about. And so it's crazy. It's sad. Like, I don't understand what is going through these people's heads that are still there. That like, I mean, I honestly think it's at a point now where the only people that are still there are people that are really feel like they're trapped there, like have no other option, or just dumb people that are just like, this is great. I have a community now. Like,
So what also happened is Nick called someone who's also a live streamer, Jessica Diamond,
yeah.
and all he could say to her was, oh, well, it's good that she said that it was consensual. He's not concerned that the poor girl's now out on her fucking ass with nowhere to go
Right.
and no support. He's, oh, but she said it was consensual. The only thing he cares about is his fucking image. That she
Right.
didn't turn around and say, oh, he pressured me into it.
And then he messaged her and said, I love you.
I love you. No, so
In
that
2
message-
weeks.
No, that's
In
from
2 weeks.
That message is from the 3rd of March.
That's what I'm saying. In
Matthew.
2 weeks
Oh.
of her being there, Matthew. She got there,
Oh.
what, mid-March, and by
So
March
he's
3rd, or
telling her,
mid-February,
"I
by March
love
3rd, he
you."
said, I love you.
We're going to get
Oh,
married.
Fritz in
We're
the
going to have a
comments.
baby. We're going to be famous on TikTok together. All the while his actual ex-girlfriend is paying his phone bill, sending him gifts, and being strung along.
Yeah.
We all know that he was stringing Mariah along.
Oh, he was telling her he still loves her, that they're going to get married.
Yeah, the dude's terrible. He's not.
Disgusting.
I don't. Yeah, this is like, and it's sad because like then he posts these fucking cheesy ass videos where he's like trying to like show
is
how
Brit
well
in-
he's
hang on,
doing.
is Brit in here?
Yeah, but she's on her regular account again. Are
Brit,
you-
if
are
you
you
want
settled?
to, if you want to jump in, you'll have to jump on the Monica account, but only if you want to.
It's a shit show. And then they just got online, Pat and them, and said now that they will take more female residents, but only ones that are down for the cause.
What
they-
cause?
I
Dick
did have
Nicole?
also-
Equal D.
So at dinner they said it was too difficult, so we're just going to do a male house because the co-ed wasn't working. And then an hour or so later, we've got a whole master bedroom and we can take 2 women on scholarship. Now, they've been fucking crying poor for the last few weeks. So how do they have the money to now give 2 new people a scholarship?
Right. So, okay, check
They're gonna
this
do what they did
out.
with Nick.
So there's a thing called the Sober Living Coalition of Los Angeles County. And so I became aware of this when I came to this house because this is an actual legit sober living that has notices posted all over, legal things, how to file grievances, or there's this or that. And so when I first got out of there, I just wanted to say my part and kind of leave it in the past and whatever it is, what it is like. But now at this point, it's I don't know. I feel like, we could all sit here and talk about it. It's interesting. I don't know. And then Nancy Grace person says there's lawyers and there's some case or something. I don't know what is what, and I don't care. But I don't know.
Hey, Matthew, it's Britt. Were you in the program? Were you like Mad Dog or something in that program?
Was I Mad Dog?
Or something?
Matthew
Were you
Andrew
in the
Drake.
program?
That's Matthew Andrew Drake.
I
Yeah,
forgot.
so he just left, Britt. He just left Graceland.
I
Not
just heard
before.
about it.
Matthew,
Was it because of the incident about Ali?
Oh, this is Britt?
This is
Yes,
Britt.
Britt.
This is
Wait,
Britt.
on the Monica Lewinsky name?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
because her-
my
Monica
live
gave her a backup.
I haven't
Wait.
been on TikTok.
Whoa,
so I forgot
wait,
to let
wait.
you know.
Wait, were you were in my lives before?
No.
That's a
Monica
different-
gave her the
that's a different
account.
Okay,
No,
all right,
no.
okay. I was like, wait,
No, I
this whole
just left
time you
Graceland
were
and
this
they were
person?
No.
I remember your name.
All
'Cause
right.
they talk a lot. It's worse than high school. I've seen preschools more organized playing house. They don't even know what structure is.
Right, it's a joke.
But I'm
these
safe.
days.
I'm safe. I'm still sober, and I'm actually happy. I've been losing my mind, and I've been breaking down. I've been telling them I was like, and I don't think that they like I was calling them out. I said, why would people that come in broken, your first test is to break them as a test? I said, I can't. I was like, I gotta get in touch with what's wrong with me before you and then it's just literally, it's because I was calling people out. I was like, are we holding the line or cutting it? Are we putting Monopoly pieces? And then there was relapses, people hooking up, and they were just writing words. But the second someone's told about me and Nick one time in the grocery store, not even the house, then all of a sudden they kick the women out. Pat's yelling at me saying, do you realize you're the problem? I'm like, yeah, it's almost like I didn't come here because I was so perfect that it was just like a reward. I'm sorry. And then he's like, no, the women were going to kick out. And I said, it's almost like the guys had to have something happen to them to perform. And so I don't understand. And I said, oh, of course, clock it. I said, you're going to keep Nick. And then he blamed me. He's like, if you cared about Nick, you wouldn't. And I was like, how is this? I'm a woman, so I don't make the first move. And I came in and they're even still saying, you're not even fully back to normal yet. I said, exactly. You just answered it. So why are you expecting me to do normal stuff? I'm sick. So why wouldn't I do sick things? When I resisted being around these people, they were like, you need to be open. And then as soon as I did, and it's just, that's what people do in there. They do dirt, you do dirt, and then you don't tell on each other's dirt. And if you do, then it's like a wildstorm. And literally the fact that the reason why I cared about Nick was because I saw the way that they manipulate and they use his codependency and need for validation and his trauma response of keeping the peace and everyone happy so he could be happy.
But Britt, do you see that he does the same thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but oh, definitely. I definitely saw that, and I would talk to Ali, and I would and even Mariah. He claimed to block her. He said that called her crazy. That he was just using her to keep his phone on and to get money. But then I would watch a lot of things, and they're like, you just pay attention too much. But I would see people deleting texts from Sarah and going to the deleted folder and deleting them. I see Nick get Amazon packages, and I was piecing it together, and they didn't like that I could, even when I was cold turkey everything, that I was able to pick up on so much and calling out. They told me oh, you just got a cold turkey off Suboxone. but then there's a client in that because they don't have medical staff, but there's a client in there who, when I went to the pharmacy saw that they were getting Suboxone. There's another guy who brought 90 in, another person who relapsed because he dropped it on the floor, and all that. Oh, you just get words. And I literally was crying to them. I said, even the graduates were like, look, we messed up and said, you know what? We're men, we're human. So of course we did it, and then we did the words. So I'm thinking, okay, if I get caught, I write 50K words, whatever. But then literally for me to be the first person kicked out, and the two men, they kicked the two women that were homeless and have children out, and the two men that that's crazy. And Pat's like, we just need to make this an all men sober living. I'm like, okay, it won't happen. They'll just start doing each other. They're weird. Like, they don't care. Like, a lot of them. And then they're like, oh, and then Pat's literally yelling at me and like, do you realize you see what's wrong with you? And it's like, and then Sarah starts talking about personal stuff. Like, I can't believe you. And I said, no, you're multiple to my one time. It is different. And it's because Nick at first was friendly, and how I see the potential and not the actual narcissism in people, and the playing me and playing on my, like, making me, oh, you have a good heart, you're this, and then it's like telling me the things I want people to see. And then as soon as it, like, literally today, he walked up because I was going to leave because Nick came crashing out every day, like a normal routine, especially when he doesn't have his phone, especially when he has his words, all this stuff. Because as soon as I didn't go in and tell a word about my TikTok, Nick found it, then Pat, everybody, and then I didn't want that. And then as soon as that happened, they're like, oh, the girls didn't want to be on live because I've kept trying to tell them, you guys don't know the recovery community. We all have trauma responses. We've manipulation, all this stuff. So they see right through it. So to come in and be like, hey guys, have a good day. That's not recovery. Recovery is me breaking out and crashing out and angry. And that is real. And I don't it's like they want to portray an image that isn't even correct to the disease. And like, even Pat tried to be like, do you ever think that your knowledge isn't like right? Like, no, like, obviously, like, I don't need sick people telling me how I'm sick. Like, and the things I say, they're like, I feel like I just bothered the lies that they cover up, and that, like, even everybody else, it's just like, they'll say structure, structure, structure. But then and then I was like, okay, is this an individual program? Because you're not holding line for everyone. They're like, well, yeah, it is. Like, they don't know anything. And I was like, structure is like, and then everybody says something different. They're all contracted. It's like everything they're against. And the only two people, and I'll say Ryan too, because he's cool, but the only two people that kept me in there and that I respect are Jose and Zach. Everybody else, even Madison today, I had so much respect for Madison. She's the reason why I went. And after today, I don't care if my life depended on it, and I would see everybody I ever loved, I would never trust them. The fact that she knew I said I had $10 in my Cash App, and then they knew Nick was coming because I texted him, told him what was happening, because he told me today, promise don't leave. My birthday's Wednesday. He's like, please promise me we're going to stick this out. You're going to marry me. And he's like sitting there saying he loves me. And then he leaves. And then I text him. Then all of a sudden they gave me 3 minutes to get out, tell me they book a hotel, which I got on camera. And then I get to the hotel and they didn't book anything. And they said, nope. So I remember the code. Everyone talks there. So I went back to the gate, opened the code, went back in. And I said, you guys got the wrong one. If you think you're going to leave me stranded in the city with the amount of luggage I have, no money. And then Sarah pulls out her camera and starts recording me. And it's like, and I was like, tell her. And they asked for my address. And I said, I'm not saying that on camera. I said, put the phone down. And she's smiling at it. She wasn't all brave like that when I was in there because she was crying when I was doing it and I was getting words. In 2 days, I got 10K words because one guy who couldn't get the hint that I didn't want him and kept saying degrading stuff. And everyone was like, well, maybe you took it wrong. Like, no, I didn't. Like, that's what I don't like is that they don't believe the females. Like, Nick, okay, yes, that was consensual. I was like just as much as my idea. But that guy, he had resentment because he did not like the rejection. And then so I called him the PUSSY, and then I said it over and over, called him a B word, and I got 5K words for it. And I said, I'm not writing that. I'm not sorry. It's an honest program, and I'm not sorry for saying that. Like, they don't like that I will be honest. And and then they say the 12 steps like it's Siri, like God, and it's just like so ignorant. And like you're it's like my type of hearing, like I tune that out. It's like, it's almost like mocking the very thing that you preach, and to sit there and say to have an ego, DEA. And it's like, but then all that you see is their ego. And like, it's just the fact that it's like they want to talk about me validation, like Nick and Pat are nothing without validation. If we're sitting there and people are crying during a live and then they're smiling and like, I love you to the live, like you should be saying that to the person about to leave. You should be like, look how quick they're like, then leave. It's like, that was once you. Do you not remember that? That's like,
hey, so Brett, yeah, I completely understand what you're saying about, the structure and the rules not being upheld across the board.
but yeah, Gilbert's dad, that's the biggest creep in the house. And tell him I said,
Oh, Aaron. You mean Aaron?
Yeah, that's the one that I got and all this. And then he's the one that got mad because he told me that he told me everybody Sarah was getting with. And then he kept telling me, yeah, senior members. So like I can drive girls, like I get freedom, and then we get to F around and and then he kept trying to tell me like they have like a donations closet. So I grabbed shirts out of it because Josh left and I thought they were Josh's. Well, then I walk out in the shirt and then Aaron's like, yeah, normally girls wear my shirt after we do it, but if you want to before, and I kept calling it. And then another guy slapping the rocks and sticking his tongues out, but all this stuff. And then, oh no, but that's okay. And I even had Nick as a witness who confessed. But even, we had a power outage and me and Nick went behind somewhere and we didn't do anything like what we did at the store, but we did stuff. But they aren't, but no, that's okay. I didn't even think of that because I was like so heated that I was like leaving. But then Allie and Keaton went and hooked up. Like it's crazy in there. I've lived at TRAP houses, and that is like I was like mortified. I was like, I'd rather go back to those. And it's great. I don't care. NDA. I was on 5 different substances when I signed that. I don't even remember it.
What they
Do you
did
know
to
about
you.
the videos that they've put out about you?
Huh?
Do you know about the videos they've put out about you?
No, but I don't care. I'm proud. I walked out with integrity, honesty, and who I am. That's me. That's recovery. That's breaking
So
someone.
it's not on. It's not on their page. They've created an account.
Made
they've
a
put up
fake
2
account
videos.
with your
That's probably Sarah because she belongs
Yeah,
in the
it's
Bob
Sarah.
house. Sarah wants
It
to
is
be in the
Sarah.
Bob house, but she's there because she's homeless and her parents cut her off, and her dumb cat that she illegally smuggled, and her car that she's getting everybody. She gets people off to get off things, and she wants a handout. She's a crash out, and she's mad that I called her out and made her cry day 3. And I'm proud and good. They can make videos, and I'll make videos back. She'll never get the
Hey,
views or respect.
am I muted?
No, you're
Okay.
on.
Perfect. All right. That's where I was going to go with that, actually, when I was starting to talk last time. All right. So, Sarah and Britt. All right. So, did you and Sarah have issues pretty quickly?
Oh yeah, because she was picking on another newcomer, and she told her, "Stop smacking your teeth." That's my pet peeve. I said, I said, "Is that structure related?" I said, "That's nobody's business but you."
All right.
But she literally had it out for me because I called her out. And then today, Madison was going to let me stay and write 50K, and Sarah said, "No, that's not fair. Like, because life is fair." I don't care. I said, bye. Okay. I said, watch it. And then I told her, then she's recording me. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, and I post all the videos. They won't, but that's fine. Record me. I said, welcome to LA County, Sarah.
Right. Okay. I get it. 100%. I understand.
And if I signed an NDA on 5 different substances, that wasn't me. That was somebody else that signed that, not me. You should have waited till I was on detox to make me sign paperwork, because I don't even remember the rest that I signed. All it said was the right to record me and the something NDA. I don't even know what NDA, but I don't care. They can, okay. It's not a lie. If it's the truth, it's not a lie or a problem. I cannot speak on them. Like, I can't say where she works. I won't, because I don't care. But like, I will say my truth of how I was experienced and how I was treated. Because literally, Pat's like, how are people going to talk bad about Grace? And I'm like, if you had integrity and grace, there'd be nothing bad to say. You wouldn't even be tripping right now.
Yeah.
I'm mad because I'm still sober. Trust me, I could have used all of them, an excuse, but not any of them in the combined words that they come out of their mouth and write are worth my sobriety, because none of them don't even know what recovery is. They want to be respected in the recovery community, but they don't have anything recovery related to ever give people. Like, they don't want hope. They want to be like, look, I'm putting on a smile, even though an hour ago I crashed out and said I'm leaving because Mariah texted me and sent to my Cash App $50, and so I'm upset. And then Pat goes, come on, guys. And it's just so weird. It's weird.
Right. What they did in the house with Aaron is he sexually harassed you, right?
Well, yeah, and then even when they
enabled
said
it.
I should have told them that to check the cameras, but I was told if I said check the cameras that I'd have to write like 2K words. So I was like, this is a trap. Either way, I get in trouble. And I even said, so your guys, even Nick in the garage today, they could post the cameras if they're so concerned about the truth. Nick walked up and said, Brittany clearly shuts it down, and then they get mad. And I said, watch, give it a couple days because of rejection. And sure enough, why would they have to put me on non-com with Jack, Aaron, and Paul? Like, why would they voluntarily do that without their, and then Madison has it on camera, me crying yesterday and literally shaking, saying, if you guys don't defend me, stop getting mad that I crash out and defend myself. I said, you guys are hitting a trauma I haven't even touched yet. I said, you're letting that? I said, you want Diddy Jr. in the house? Then go ahead. And then I called them a P word again. And I don't care. The fact that that's why I said, I tried to leave today. I said, Nick crashes out. Allie and Keaton, all this stuff. I'm like, everything is, and there's 2 relapses. You have Aaron that literally it's just crazy. I'm like, look, if I'm flirting, that's on me. I won't, me and Nick, I'm not mad at Nick. I'm mad at how he's quick. He switched up after literally hours after telling me to wait till Wednesday on his birthday and we'd leave and he'd get a hotel. Yeah, I have text today of him saying, I'm coming, though. I'm leaving. I'm getting my stuff. And literally, but once Pat talked to me, and then this is crazy. I was going to stop by his work to be like, oh, really? Like, to speak to him in person before leaving because I was upset. And then Madison followed my Uber, cut us off to where the guy was like, that lady almost hit me, jumped out of the car and said, I paid for that Uber, take her to their house. Like, you guys are scared of something, and it ain't me. It's the truth that's going to come out of my mouth that you guys have worked so hard to cover up. He ain't love bomb me. If anything, they bombed themselves because trust me, I don't have to even say anything for everybody to see what it is. The fact that the guys are still there and I'm not, as if like I'm a female and a guy, everyone knows the anatomy. Trust me, I ain't a victim, but he ain't either.
He did. I'm not saying you're a victim, but Nick's MO is love bombing women.
Yeah, no, and he even said, you better not dox me. And then Madison does it. Like, okay, see, they made me lose, but look what they're going to lose. Now he can't work. I didn't say nothing, and I'm proud. I was like, no, I'll show you how to be a man. I'll take it to the chin.
I do think, like, within 2 weeks of saying I love you, and, like, you've only been there a month, Britt, and him talking about marriage and babies, that is classic love bombing.
That's what I was saying. When he's like, oh, I want a baby so I could trap you. That was the first cue where I was like, oh, that's why I don't care. And I don't care. Sarah can say whatever she wants. I can drug test, and I still was just because she needs to deflect because she can't look in the mirror. I'm sober, and I don't care, and I will go to another place where sober living actually teaches me how to live instead of putting me back into what made me escape in the first place. And I don't care if Sarah watches my feed. She can post as many videos because nobody cares about her face in the first place. So go ahead. I don't care. Showing my worst there is making them look bad, not me, because everyone knows my potential. They've seen me using, and I still have potential. Just because that dodo that belongs has nowhere to live and has to ride Madison and Danielle's coattail. Her program is cannot speak to Madison and Danielle. She cried because she couldn't say a couple words and say, hey, I need to, but like I said, she can get clicked up and D down to get through that program. I walked out with grace, and that's the only grace that was there. So go ahead, Bob House, go ahead,
Rick,
Sarah.
Do you think that Sarah ever hooked up with Nick?
Oh, she'd probably hook up with the service dog, honestly, so if it gave her attention. I don't care. And I will drug test every day. If someone can tell Sarah to cash at me, I'll drug test and I'll do it on live, and then I'll smile, and then I'll still get I'm sorry that she's the typical girls that I knew right then and there, and she just mad because I said, I don't like you. We're not friends. And then she's like, well, I'm not going to be living here. I said, but when you walk in, you will respect it. I don't care. Like, I don't care. And they just want to say my anger is problem because I don't cry like her. I don't cry to get sympathy. I want people to respect the fact that I'm being real and hurting and crashing. Like, I didn't go in there because I'm like queen of the world. Like, hello. Like, I thought that's broken that we need fixed. So I don't need someone like her that literally has stolen meds and like sitting there saying all this stuff, like literally acting like I'm human. Like, oh no, oh my gosh, like no way. Like, that's new. I'm new to that. I didn't know that. Like, I don't care if you're human, and I'll hurt your human experience and your soul if you don't leave me alone, because I know where she works. So if she doesn't stop posting, everyone can. I'm not kidding. She's from out of state. This is my not county and state, born and raised. So she better stop being brave because she's sitting next to the people she's writing, like, to get through the program. And her little friend, I don't care.
And so what
can I ask you a
happened,
quick-
I'll clarify it, is that there was a fake account made when you were in here and it had your picture on it, and Sarah's recordings of you today were put up on that from Sarah's phone, and they tagged me in the videos.
Oh, send it to me. I love it. I love I love hate. That's unlike her. Hate and rejection makes her crash out. Hate and fuels me. That makes me know that they're thinking of me and not their recovery. That's a W for me.
Brett, what did they promise you, like, when you decided you're going there? Like, how did they explain this as a program to you?
They said, well, they pretty much said, from what Danielle Madison said, that they needed a strong woman in the house because there wasn't. That's what their words. They said, we really need a strong woman. And when I came in here, Nick was like, that's going to be a dangerous woman. Pat was like, this woman. And that's exact. And I was like, it immediately made me a target. And then when all the guys that they were crashing out over, because once they got what they want, they didn't want them no more. Then all of a sudden, when the attention was on me, and then they were trying to make me cover up. And I said, yeah, okay, I could wear a turtleneck and it still won't fix that issue. Like, and then they just hammered me. And I started getting mad because I was like, dude, I'm not even like sober yet. Can you give me a break? And like, they even said, oh, this is what Sarah does to push people out of the house. I said, well, don't be mad when I push back. And okay, you got out of the house, and the problem won't be solved. There'll be another one. The fact that you can't have women there, but literally, I even said, if those are your people, why do all your people tell me all your dirt by day 3? Her own best friend in the house told me not to tell her anything. And it's just like, I'm like, I knew something in my intuition. I was like, I need to leave. And they're trying to tell me it's my disease. I'm like, no, you guys are a disease. Like, I don't even want to get high right now, which is the first time ever in life that something's happened, especially this traumatic, like to put me back in the city that took my soul in the first place. And the first time I'm happy because I beat it. Like, I may have not beat them. I may have fell vulnerable to gaslighting or love bombing like I always do, but I'm not broken and I'm sober. I have $10. I could walk to the corner store and get talking something. And that wasn't even a thought. My first thought was to hit up the recovery community to give them hope that, like, just because that place is a joke doesn't mean there's us people that struggle with this disease is a joke. I don't have to cope in that way. I coped by literally beating something. It's not beating this disease. It's beating the people that make you believe that disease is everything you are. And it's not. They saw anger, but they didn't see the passion. They didn't see that I was fighting for them, trying to say, look, that ain't your homie if it's a yes people, because those yes people won't even be at your funeral. That guy that's saying he loves you is going to go home to the girl he actually loves. I didn't put my heart and soul into any of them. I put it into what I believe in. And I even said, when they were like, oh, go on live. You want to go on live? I was like, no. I said, because until I can keep it real, because they want it like the little smiles and tap, 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 I ain't doing that, because I respect the recovery community on here, because that's all I had before I went in there. And I'm proud of myself because I kept my integrity, and it took them hours to own up stuff. As soon as they said, you and Nick hook up at Rouse, I said, yep, sure did. I said, and they're like, look, I'm like, and then I looked at her, she's like, oh, no. I was like, I should just save it. I said, got it. I said, that's exactly why I don't click up with girls, because the snitching. I was like, did I snitch on you yesterday? Nope. I said, clocked it. I said, don't hit me up after this. And then they're like, you can't keep threatening people. I'm not. I'm inviting them to, if they want to act so tough, and turned to me. I said, did you think of me and my kids and the fact that I'm homeless and that the places I would go would be like everywhere vultures waiting to take back what I've been fighting for? I said, I don't need you guys. I said, I've been calling you guys out, and just how Kanye says, the truth is crazy in a world full of lies. And they didn't like that I came and turned that house upside down, and I said, it ain't narking when you narc on a narc, and I don't care. I'm not, it's one thing to, like, you know, sell someone out, but the fact that I see them trying to get money and fame off of something that destroys people, destroys family, it's a family sickness. I said, they're laughing about Jack and whatever, like relapsing. Jack is just laughing. And I said, what's funny? I said, because one relapse could turn into 100 more where you're in a grave and your family's trying. And that's funny. I couldn't find the humor that they take this so lightly, that because you could spend a year in that program skating by and walk out and get used the next day. I've done it. And I was like, I ain't here. And they're trying to say, do you ever think your perception is off? I said, you guys ever think you're just full of crap? I'm sorry. Like, and they're like, you've just been institutionalized. Like, yeah, so maybe I know it now. Because this time I wasn't court ordered. They think I have to be there because of court. And Sarah was trying to set me up. And I said, I didn't make a threat. I just said, welcome to LA County. Like, whatever she takes it at, since because there's from the streets and for the streets. And she's for the streets. And so she can act all brave with her people. But I really don't care. Like, I don't care if she spends every day, they want to talk about that guy, Doug. Oh, he's sits there and like spent off our name. Like, okay, I don't care. My name was never mixed in with Graceland. And if anything, it made me look bad going there. But if they made themselves look bad by looking at the one person that people had a slight hope, like, okay, if she can do it there, then I said, you guys, you know what? I said, I would rather lose my life as a JUNKIE than ever be with a bunch of hypocrites who literally tells Pat saying, we're all born losers. Like, how does that give anybody hope? No, I might have been born by losers, which made me feel like I'm a loser, but I ain't a loser because I'm winning, because I don't even strive for money. I strive to make people broke so like feel good and loved that they don't need money to ever want, like, feel rich. Like, that's what rich is not needing anything but what's inside. And yeah, higher power, whether you don't believe in that, the book is like steps, but that's just like little thing. It's like stepping in the house but expecting it to be decorated. No, it's little things, making people feel good, doing what their escape. Stop making recovery a one size fit all, because when our trauma is different, then our way to heal is different. And they're just so naive. And it's like, I had so much respect in the beginning for Pat Madison. Pat Madison, I'm never again. But Danielle, good. Blue, great heart. With Zach and Jose, I will stay to the end of it. That they're the only reason why I stayed, and the only reason why I had hope of someone like me that could turn it to. And I feel bad because I understand that when you're in that, you know, like, you have to either choose that or you go back to the life that took you, like, made you so desperate. And I get it, but I knew. I said, this place is going to ruin me. And I said, I know I can stay sober. And I never said that before. I've always had that 1%, like, you know, maybe I know that I don't even want to use. And I've never said that in my life. That's all I knew. I always, even if it wasn't a craving, I craved feeling numb. I craved feeling. I craved feeling excited or everything. And I don't need that. And so of course I was angry. If I wasn't angry, that would be a bad sign. But yeah, I was angry, sitting there saying, you're sending me in a hotel, but then paying for Nick's Uber to come and then go back to work so you can get your views, thinking I don't know the code. And then Sarah's recording me, like, go ahead. Because you know what? That showed how much it really was hurting me, which was the only real thing in that house. You were sending me back to a city, and then Madison said, you can come back in 2 weeks. Knowing the statistics of if I went and actually did stuff tonight, that it'd be hours before I was in a urine. And that's funny to them. They're going to post that good, get my views, because I guarantee you, Nick, what he's known for and what I'm going to be known for are two separate roads. And whether the world hates me for it, it doesn't matter, because finally I love me. And I realize my problem is not just me. It's the people I surround myself that are bothered by my potential. They lower me so that I fit their broken piece. But right now, I don't need a man. I don't need my parents I don't have. I don't need nothing But me right now, and the fact that I'm have integrity, I've been nothing but honest. I owned up. I put it on the internet. I don't care. Yeah, okay. I hooked up. So I'm sorry. At least I didn't pick up. And for once, to me, that's a win.
So was Nick hitting on you from like when you first got there?
No, like at first he was nice and like kind, and then he came up one day and he's like, "Oh, found your TikTok," and I could tell he was like weird, and I was like, he thought he had said it was a problem. Then he reached his 90 days. I gave him a 90-day chip because every time I had chips, I take them to treatment to give them to someone, and then I did that. And then he would like make little comments like, "Just stay your beautiful self," and stuff like that. And then you know how like when someone's looking at you and you're like, "What is he looking at me like that?" And then it's just like, I don't know. And then trying to think. Oh, and then one day he's like, "There's no cameras in the laundry room," and kissed me. And then he asked me to write me a note. Wrote him a note. He went to work. Then he got in the car. We were in the car with Paul and Milo. And then he made it like incognito, where he's like, "Oh, some person at my work wrote me a note. I love her so much." And he would like hold my hand. I'm trying to think. I think he put like his hand down my pants in the van. Trying to think else. Oh, and then when the power went out, we went like behind the wall and was doing stuff. And then let me think. In the grocery store, we kissed and stuff. I even bought him groceries. All this shit, and then I made him food every day, and he's like, "I love you, take care of me, I want to marry you." But then when he started mentioning like, "Oh, Twitter, I have 60K, and that we can make so much money," he's like, "You're so much better than my ex. Me and you would blow up. We'd be taking over the algorithm, and da 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 da." And then today he was like, I was gonna leave, and then he's telling Jose, he's like, "As a friend, I don't want her to be out there. I'm gonna leave if she leaves too." And then he's like, "We can go on like online." And I said, "Right now, I'm not worried about online." Like I was like, if we left together, I was like, there's no way I want to go right online. That's like a risk of my sobriety and mental health. I said, right now I need peace because we were both losing our mind because we both were getting targeted. And yeah. And then in the grocery store, Allie and Keaton went and hooked up in the bathroom. Then Keaton looked at me, and Nick went to the bathroom, and then I said type shit, and then Keaton knew what type shit meant. Then I went to the bathroom, did it, and then after that, like even in the van, he'd hold my hand, like all this stuff. But then I think that's it. But yeah, but even like he'd sit there and like blow kisses. He would sit there, and I'd walk up the stairs, and he'd be like and all this stuff, and it's like. He every day would sit there, even yesterday, or no, this morning, he's like, "You're all I think about. You're all I can ever think about. All I want to do is be with you. I want us to blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "I want to make," and he's like, "No matter what, if you leave, I leave. And if I leave, you leave. Like, I want to be together." And then, so when I got kicked out, and then.
I think they're calling her.
Yeah, you're on pause. Whew.
Everyone breathe.
Can we do a Dochi Wusa?
Woosa. Yeah, they're definitely calling.
He
her.
told me, he said, "I'm leaving. I'm going to come pack my stuff right now. Don't leave." Then he says, "Please don't stop contacting me." Soon as Pat and Madison talk to him, then it's, "You need to love yourself." Like, I do. That's why I'm not crashing out whether the thought I even see you again. And I'm not worried about TikTok, or I didn't care if everyone went on there was like, "Bop." I don't care. I'm proud because you know what? They thought they played me. They just played themselves. And I don't care. Like, being real is a win to me. Whether people, and they can call me out, that's a learning experience. That's the difference. I don't crash out. But when somebody in there is being like sneaky and then has the nerve to tell me, and then literally like, and then he literally was like, today he even said, he's like, if we need to leave, I have all this money where people on Twitter, I can just blah, 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 and this. And he's like, we can make content. We'd be blowing up. He's like, me and you together. He's like, you're so perfect and you're so beautiful and you're all I think about and all this stuff. And I want to, and then even in the store, he's like, I want to have baby. My ex gonna have kids. He's like, I want to have a baby and trap you. And even the trap part, I've already heard that.
God, don't ever let him get you pregnant. Don't ever let Nick get you pregnant. It would be the worst thing of your entire nightmare.
I would never do. I wouldn't even let Jesus Christ get me pregnant. I would never have another baby daddy in my life. And even how he would act, I was like, I was even worried because of how he acted out. Like, I was like, oh no, that like there's just, and even Jose said today, he's like, do you know like what life you're from and compared to him? And like, I know that like, it's just, I worked from opposite worlds, but they were even like, how they pinned it on me, like if you cared about him, and I said, "Excuse me, can I love myself first before you ever make me think I have to like it's different because I even said I said whether or not Nick leaves or not, I'm gonna be fine, and right now I'm happy that I'm by myself. Like I kept trying to say the fact that I used to think isolation was my problem. No, it's when I isolated and would be desperate and go around people, they were always my downfall. And right now I'm by myself. I could have done everything by the time I got here, and all I've done is sit here happy. Like and it's not a manic or high. Like I feel free. Like I feel free from like I thought I went there to solve my answer. I got my answer that I don't need a treatment center. I just need to believe in me and to match people that are at my worth and not who I see was once me that needs to bring up, because all they do is bring me back down, or they want to experience me. And ain't no guy worth it that like, like, no, I'm good. I've been sober longer than like we were even, you know what I mean? But then I look at it and I'm like, I came in the vulnerable one. So how is this on me? Like, I don't understand. And it was consensual, but I just don't understand.
Before you went to the house, did you like know anything about Nick Harris? Like,
no, that's what I mean. The couple months before I went in there, like everything they were telling me, I had no idea because I had been like going through a lot, even mentally. Like I said, right before I went, the only reason why I went was because I had a thought of to Google the easiest way to like end my life and stuff, to where I was like, I'll give this one chance, and if not, then I just give up. And even today, I was just like, I'm just ready to give up, until I got out of there and realized like I'm not at spiritual warfare. It's just hard being who I am around a bunch of people who don't even understand it. Like you can say the serenity prayer, but they don't know serenity, grace, integrity, structure, anything. And I try to say, this is so dysfunctional, it's making me dysfunctional. So why are you pointing out me? And they're like, and like I said, the only people like there all the time that are amazing are Jose and Zach. They're the only people that I will never say a bad thing. And it hurt me to even disappoint them because they didn't like, they aren't there all the time. So it's easy. I said, I'm sick, and I'm not sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick and it's tiring. And so sometimes I was proud of myself. I was proud that I just didn't relapse. And they don't even know how sad that is to think like, and then everybody else was for relapse and sleeping together and being in relationships were literally words. So I said I would have never done that if I knew I'd be kicked out. I wouldn't have risked it. But when I'm thinking, I just got to write 50K words, like I was like, okay, well, I'm going to be here a year. I have plenty of time. Like I was already slammed with over 10K just for yelling at the service dog boy and calling him the P word and spelling it. And they said, but he got 1K for arguing back. I'm like, he's 10 months in, and shouldn't he be held at a higher standard? But that's not how it works in there, because if you brown nose, clip cup, or D down, you just get gold stars next to your name. And I was like, they don't understand, and didn't believe me, and which triggered me again. I said, it's almost like the people that are, what were you wearing? Why were you alone? And I was like, like I said, with all the people that I get along and the guys, and I'm not saying it, and the type of guy, like I was just like, it's disgusting that you guys are not having my back. And I said, I will not be in a place that I'm not protected by Diddy Jr. And then they made me stay. I still cooked dinner, did everything. And then sure enough, I said, I called people out. And then Allie and Sarah all like, it's just there's so much fake stuff.
Did Zach or Jose stand up for you tonight at all? Like when you were there?
About the Nick thing? No, well,
yeah,
they're the only ones who, they're the only two came, because Madison came out, but she had an attitude. I don't know why. Like I said, the fact, if I'm when I work in recovery, even if I'm upset, I'm going to be upset at the thought of that person's mom, dad, brother, kids, or something losing them. They didn't care. They were laughing. But I have fun at the AA meeting. Like, you know what? You guys, the fact that you're my life and telling me write 50K words and come back. I said, you think I'm going to come back to this? I came here to save my life. And the only thing saving my life is leaving. I wouldn't come back there. I'd write 100K words just to tell them how I'll never come back. But the fact that they all have these egos, forgetting they were once strung out, hopeless, destroyed, and falling through those doors. And so instead of grabbing someone and saying, do not leave at all costs, but kicking the only two people that were homeless and like hopeless. And it's like, thank you. Like, thank you for showing me that relying on people, loving, trusting is always my downfall. So maybe this walk is just for me. And the fact that I'm still sober now, the first time at less than a month, when there's people in there for months that still relapse, they break every rule. And it's like, and then the guy stays there that did it, that was higher up than me. Don't forget that. So if anything, if I'm in a treatment center, I would be like, no, you got to go because you have more sobriety. You should know better. He preaches the.
Deep breaths.
This is a lot.
Woosah.
I feel like I'm holding my breath.
Britt,
Yeah.
Britt, you mentioned stolen medications at one point. Do you feel comfortable talking about that at all?
Yeah, Allie was like bragging. She was like, yeah, like I've gone out there and opened my meds and like would take extra, like all this stuff to where I've tried to explain to them that it wasn't me I was defending or sticking up for. I was trying to say, as somebody that used to be vulnerable, you tell me that, well, now I'm going to go do it. Like, you can't put those thoughts into sick people's head who has these, like, this thing in their mind where I said you corrupt people. I've gone into treatment and learned things that made me need treatment again. And they just don't listen. They think, maybe your perspective, like maybe you guys just don't pay attention to anything but yourself and TikTok. Even when they're like, oh, your phone. I'm like, I'm glad I don't have my phone. I didn't care. I didn't miss my phone. Like, it was weird getting it back, but it's like, I don't care. I don't care if all of them sit there for 10 hours tonight deflecting and putting it on me, because no matter what, in a month or two, or when they leave that program, they'll be hit with the reality that, I came in sick and I was open and I said I was broken. I kept saying, give me a break. You guys, I can't even think straight. I said, I'm here for like trauma that you guys don't understand or care about. And yeah, Jose and Zach have been defending me. But when it comes to the higher ups that come in, it doesn't matter, because they step on them and they silence them. They silence them because what do? They make you rely on them. You have to work and give your whole paycheck. Even though you get a scholarship and you could be there free, but when you work, your whole paycheck goes to them. Like, how would I be? It makes you. That's why I said it's a trap. It's almost like how I used to say, when you grow up in a trap house, like you find yourself stuck in one the rest of your life. You're always trapped in one way or another. And you know what? There'll be a time, I promise you, well, Nick will sit there and have his pity party and write, I was wrong. But it's like, I don't care. I don't owe anybody in that program. Just, okay, good. He got what he wanted and I got what I wanted by leaving and being able to voice myself without their little, like, okay, guys, look, guys, hey, say hello. Oh, let's pretend. It's just like, I was like, you need to be showing the reality of this and not putting on a play or skits. It should not be like, you know what I mean? And I was like, for something that they're trying to say, behavior modification and structure, it's insane that those are the two things they lack anything. Because Pat was quick to tell me what was wrong with me, never gave me advice how to do it. And then Sarah's telling me, like, I don't care if she was telling me I had $1 million. I don't want to hear it out that Dodo's mouth. I don't respect her. And I said, I don't move like you. And that's why you were upset, because my potential bothered them. So they said it from the get-go that they would try to push me out of the house. And Jose and Zach are the only ones who came out. Zach and Jose, the ones that do understand the street stuff, the look in their eyes that you could tell they were sad, because they knew what I was going back to. They knew the chances. They knew the statistics. And I said I'd write the words, but Sarah Madison was going to let me stay and write the words. Sarah voted no. So, and it's like, who's been there 3 months and has admitted to literally abusing the meds, and just because they deny it, like, everyone already let me know who she slept with, that she was sending Paul nudes and all this stuff.
May I interject just quick? What do you mean she was abusing?
Like, when you go for med time, you're supposed to take your whatever dose, but she would take like extra and get like to get a I don't want to say the word HI.
I do want to, sorry, T, like, what they're doing in that house isn't normal, right? And I don't want you to feel discouraged from finding other. We've had some great people come in here and talk about how they have run their sober livings and their treatment centers. And Graceland, like when you're talking about the behavior modification, they aren't therapists. They do not have the tools nor the resources to actually run behavior modifications, and that's what makes it so dangerous.
They didn't let me see a therapist, a doctor, call my kids. Nothing. I couldn't FaceTime my kids because every time something pops off, when someone does something wrong, group, you can't get up, you can't vape. I got 600 words for vaping in group. I didn't even know because everyone else was, but no, me, and literally.
They would target you.
Yeah, even when Jack about the group about him sneaking in the stuff, I'm the only one that knew the actual thing because he tried to say, "Oh, I took the Sublocade shot and that." I said, "That's impossible." I said, "You'd be sick." I said that one's a blocker. There's not. And then he tried to say he took 10 at once. I said, "Okay, impossible. You wouldn't need to mop this house. You'd be drooling for days." It's just. And then since I spoke out of turn, I got 100K words for speaking out of turn 7 times. I said I was the only one. That's crazy because I only spoke out of turn because everybody else was. Aaron did, everybody else. But, it's who you're friends with. You don't get in trouble. And then they even said they're going to target you because either rejection, they're bothered, insecure, like Sarah. All them said how Sarah was insecure and all this stuff about me. And I just said, I don't care about the attention. I don't even want it. And, literally they're trying to push you or break you to test you or to make the heat on you because your reaction. I said, and that's okay that someone 2 weeks in and you're telling me, oh, your brain hasn't even got back to normal and you're okay with people poking me till I react that are higher up. That's like the standard. Cause I said, if that's what you guys do and you guys all sleep around to get to the top and clicked up, I said, then I would never want to be at that table as a graduate because that would be a shame on who I am and how far I came because I don't do people dirty. I get done dirty and I hurt myself. I don't have to hurt people because people hurt me. Yeah, I might be mean and I might be a crash out, but I always hurt me usually. I might disappoint people, but it's because I don't even it was because I wasn't okay. And I was so trying to please them that I didn't work on myself, which in return disappointed them. But I don't ever hurt people. Like they can make an account with my picture. Okay, tell Sarah to go live with her face and I'll do the same, no filter. And I promise you, she won't be brave going live with me. Tell her to get on. Tell her, please.
She's a cunt.
She won't.
She won't even go on live because she played your guys' clip where she's like, hey, girl, hey. I heard it like a million times going to bed. And she's playing it and the next day she's crashing out. Nick and Britt want to be on live. I said, well, I'm sorry. Are you new here?
Wow.
Britt, you're really emotionally, I can tell you're emotionally aware. And obviously, you know how you're feeling, where you're at, and what you need. And again, where I was going is just, I hope you do know if and when you're ready to seek treatment again, there are legit centers who do have the tools, the resources, and aren't social media focused, who are going to be able to help you.
No, I definitely do. I just did. They wanted to send me, and I said I don't want anything to do with anything you guys, because then you go to IOP and you still see them. I said, I said, cut them off. I'll find it, and I even said, let me hit up my TikTok people because they will find me somewhere. I said I don't want anything that has even an inkling of next to Graceland. I said why? So you got, and then telling me you can come back in 2 weeks. Who tells that to an addict? And
I want to make you aware that the video that Sarah took and they put out, it does have where you were going when you asked for the Uber, and they said where to, and in that video,
good. Then I'll let everyone know the pizza place she works at. Tell them the Google pizza place is near the Speedway and everything. Tell them go to pizza. I told her not to record it, and that was my verbal consent not to whatever. Tell her I will go there, and she will need a service cap by the time I'm done.
Yeah, so I just want to make sure that you're
aware. I ain't gonna be here.
So you're aware.
And come here because, like I said, this is my city. Because what is she gonna call Ghostbusters? Because nobody likes her, not even her own family. So
guys, I'm gonna ask if you do go and look it up. Please don't put it in the chat. Okay, don't put it in the chat.
Good, because I can give everyone the code. I can tell everybody's work, even the service dog boy, everything. I can tell them everything if they really want to dox me. Okay, dox me. I'm not scared. I'll walk with my head high. I'm not scared.
Did Pat act the same as he does, off camera when he's in the house and stuff? Do you see this, what we're all seeing when he's on camera, just crashing out? Is that how Pat acts off camera? Oh,
yeah. If you even, speak and he's waiting to speak, he'll be like, can I speak? he has to have the attention, and he's one of those people that loves to hear himself talk, but when you talk, he's only listening to respond and give his perspective. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. And then when Nick's there, he's like, God, I love this guy. And then Nick's like, I'm a good boy. I'm the golden goose. I'm I'm gonna post like a milk. Like it's like embarrassing. I was like, I have children that act more mature than that, and I was like, that's crazy. And that's like, I was like weirded out, but I was like, not my issue, whatever. But like, I was like, I even said to them, I cried one day at the dinner. I said, I've been going through it. I wasn't watching Graceland. So when everyone was like, why are you going there? I'm thinking back in the day when it was like Madison and Woody and stuff. That's what I remember. I thought like maybe Nick was just like, okay, whatever. Now you said we're either going to clash or get along, whatever. And then when I went in there, I was like, oh my God. I was like, I even laughed because I was like, TikTok's gonna love this because everybody. I was like, oh. And then even what you guys think, even what I'm saying, would not even be the brink of how insane. Like insane. Every day there's a crash out. Every day there's something, and then they pile strikes. Like I got almost 4K words for no food in the fridge. Why is food important? I said, and I'm like, oh, this will help me get sober. 4K words of writing that they didn't teach me, but they're like, but did you learn to put dates on the fridge? I said, I learned to never care. I learned to that's what I did. Like, it's crazy. Like 4K words when I could be writing something like even just whatever, but 4K words because me, Nick, and the other cleanup person didn't put dates on the like in the food. But it's like these people are Seroquel out. They just come ripping through the kitchen. It's like, and then it's just a blame game. Not me, not me. Must have. And it's always, as soon as they're like, Britt and Nick, TikTok. And that's when I told Sarah, I said, there's here for TikTok and there's from TikTok. Get it right, princess. Like, I don't care if she could post me. I don't care. To tell her to post the nude she sent Paul. And Aaron when he had a girlfriend. Tell her that. I really don't care, but you got to send it to me so I'm going to repost it.
Sorry, guys, the app closed. I don't know if you guys are still here.
Yeah. No, yeah.
We're still
I'm here.
No, that's what I mean. But tell Sarah if she wants to post me also to send the pictures of her bodysuit that she sends all the guys, Paul, Aaron, even when I had a girlfriend, that when she gets in the car, she goes, what are we getting into? And then offers free rides when they're giving her a free ride. Like, I don't care. Tell her to actually send me the video so I can post it on my page to show them how much I really don't care. Because you know what? The internet may see something that sober living, they call my head high, and I didn't have to go and get HIGH to even solve it. Right now, I'm sitting with me, which I could never do before. I have my meds, didn't overtake them. Everything that I went for, I left and got it on my own. I didn't need a handout. I didn't need a gold star. And I sure didn't need them to make a post saying, look at the difference. Like, nah, that's not what I'm about. And if they want to do that, but what they're chasing is going to make them chase what they used to. And they can find out themselves. But when all of them crash out, when Nick leaves and all that shit, I won't be there. I won't care. I won't even remember who they are by the time I'm done.
Britt, how did they find out about you and Nick? How did the house find out?
Because Allie and Key went first, and then we went, and then somehow Allie admitted finally yesterday that they were doing that. Then she went and told Sarah, Miss Bob House, and then Sarah, as poor, she's like, oh, if I tell on her, then the 6 guys in here, then nobody will quit. Like, said, and then literally they brought me downstairs, and then they said, did you just hook up with Nick at Rouse? And I said, sure did. And then Allie's like, and then they're like, you're kicking her out. And Allie's like, I didn't know we'd get kicked out. I said, good job, Dodo. Like, what'd you think? Like, I said, did I snitch? I didn't say anything. I was the only one not to rat her out. And I said, good job. I said, when you're out there and you're like struggling, I said, don't hit me up. I said, and any of you, if I'm in a grave because of this, I said, I don't want you to come to my funeral or shed one tear. Go write 50K words about it. I don't care. Because I was nervous. I was going back to the same place I tried to come from. But I was like, that fear is like creating a result that I don't know yet. And I was like, from past experiences, I was like, great, like, here it goes. But no, like, okay, post that. Because trust me.
You know if Ellie's safe?
Yeah, no, I'm safe. Like I said,
No,
I'm
Ellie. Is Ellie safe?
Because Sarah and Madison and all them took care of her, you know, because that's Sarah's little bestie, even though they talk crap about each other. But no, well, I'm safe. And the thing about me is I don't need people like them to surround me to keep me safe. I can be safe on my own, and everyone knows that. And whether or not, it's not about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you get hit and get back up. And I keep hitting back up, and they can keep trying, but they ain't knocking nothing down but their selves and karma that's going to come knocking back. Because literally, that's embarrassing that even to know not only my trauma, but my, like, how I right now don't have a lot of support like that that's healthy or in my life, and my kids and stuff, and you want to do that? Like, no, they might think I'm a crash out, but they're crash test dummies, and they're only playing themselves, and they're only showing their true color. Because if Graceland was graceful, why would their staff be posting a video of someone breaking down because they're scared to go lose their life from the same life that they came to try to ask them to save them from? Like, that's disgusting. So go ahead and post me crashing out, but also make sure to send me fan mail when you're watching my videos while you, like, that's embarrassing for them, not me. I sure did punch in the code, walk right back in, like, hello, remember me? Like, I said, who do you think you are? Like, you ain't my boss now. Like, I don't care. You're going to leave me stranded. Oh, no. And they're like, we'll call the cops. Like, oh, here it goes. I thought you guys were all street, right? Like, come on.
Did you talk to Pat at all today, like during this or when you were getting kicked out or anything? Was Pat there?
Yeah,
or?
he was pissed at me. He was talking so much crap. He's like, do you see that your problem and what's wrong with you? And that when you leave, the problem's leaving with you. And you see how if you cared about Nick, you wouldn't even do this. Like, I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Pat. Weren't you just in treatment? Oh, that part. I'm sorry. I was just following his lead, you know? Like, I was just trying to be the leaders they are by literally doing everything against recovery and structure. So I was just following the leaders. Like, that's the line leader's fault, not the person at the end.
And were there anyone, like, with the whole house with how Nick gets, like, special treatment, was there other residents that were, like, upset about how Nick gets treated versus them?
Everybody. That's why my dumb little good heart, I felt bad because he would tell me, look at me. And then he literally would blow me kisses, sit at the reflection table, say he loves me, like, all day long. So then I'm sitting there thinking, like, even if it was a friendship, I even told him, no matter what, I said, someone that cares about you wants you to be happy. So I said, even if we weren't together, I thought, like, we'd at least be friends. But that ain't no friend. Like, and he can go crash out on his own and F around and find out. But everyone, he even said, they're doing this to me and you. And even with our writing, he's like, look, everything we have in common, it's the same writing. You know that Twin Made For Me song? He literally was like saying that when we graduate, we'll blow up the algorithm, that we would get married and have it to that song, and everyone would lose their mind. And like painting this picture, and sometimes I'm like a little blind with glaucoma, and I'd be looking at pictures like, oh, that's cute, like, that sounds nice, but everything always sounds nice till it's not. Like, and, you know, there were signs that I was, like, worried about, but I also trusted that what's meant for me will be with me. So I knew when he wasn't coming, I said, good, don't come chasing after me because literally he would be like, you're the only reason why I'm staying in this house. But then when Pat gets there, he has that dominating thing, and with Nick, yeah, with women, he could be like that, but not a man. Everyone backs down to Pat, but me, he walks in like he's the president, like the president of the most ignorant person to exist in the recovery community. Like, I don't care. I don't respect nobody unless they respect themselves and me. 1 million followers. Yeah, you have 1 million followers, but you have nobody that's actually following your lead besides wanting the coattail of fame, which be careful what you ask for, because sometimes what you want isn't what you need. And I knew I didn't need fame because that would bring all the temptation back to me. And right now, look, if I'd fall for Nick, imagine fame. Oh my gosh. And it's sad. Like, I'm not sad for myself, but it's sad because if I was somebody different and not so strong, or another woman, this would break somebody, you know? Like, this would make someone never go to treatment. It'd make them, like, go and cope. It would bring out insecurities. Like, this used to destroy me. I'd fall for people, and I'd fall for promises, and when I fell down on that floor, the only thing to pick me up was those using and drinking. And today, I beat everything. They might have beat me up, like, in their sense, and beat me in their, like, ego, but today I won the war. They won the battle. I won the war because I beat what was inside, and I stood my ground, and they could post me getting it. And I'm good. I said, welcome to LA County. And like I said, since she's so brave in that house, she better put herself in COVID lockdown.
We all saw recently they found substances in the house. Do they not check you or search you when you get admitted in a Graceland?
They do. That's why I'm confused. I'm like, who's searching?
Did you get searched?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. And that's just crazy. They weren't even catching on because Jack was like, I took like 15, and then I was like, he's like, but I took 10 at once, and I was taking 3 times a day. I said, well, 3 times a day you'd get 90 in 30 days. He's like, okay, 90. And then when they said the Sublocade shot, I was like, that's a blocker. They wouldn't give you that because you would get sick. That's the point. And then I kept saying this stuff, and I said, you would have more. I said, that's impossible. And I even said, with my tolerance, 10 at a time, there's no way. Like, I wouldn't wake up till graduation. Then I said, you had to have some. So then he admitted throwing them over the fence. And we found those. Well, I guess then after that, because even when they randomly did a urine test, I said, dang, finally. I said, what kind of sober living doesn't do urine tests for people leaving the house? And I was like, I was actually proud. And for once, I was like, hey, I can pass this test. Let's go. Like, but even to think, like, I know there's no HIPAA there, but when I did my urine test, to have everyone in that house know and say, oh, it lit up like a Christmas tree. It lit up for everything. But like, and I was like, why are you sharing that? Like, you know, thank God I'm who I am today. But old stuff like that would have just made me be like, it would have rubbed me the wrong way. I said, the little things make people stay, and the little things make people leave. That's why I said, let me on chef. So I said, good meals make people, I said, the little things. So when those little things are gone, and I swear, I don't care if they offer me a spot in Hypercrush or whatever his fame he's still chasing so badly. Like, I will never step in that house. I'd rather step in the pits of HELL than step in that house and ever, like, have to dumb who I am and go against my morals and integrity and principles. So they're like, you can't bring that street stuff. I said, there's different streets. But trust me, if I was handling a streetway, Sarah wouldn't be able to type in a post about me. But the fact that, like, morals and principles, but then you talk about the ASF with the principles, and I'm like, oh my God, like, that Siri talk is driving me nuts.
And so did the next day after they found Jack's stuff, did you see, like, was Jack withdrawing or anything if they took all that
that's
stuff?
What I said, that's suspicious. That's weird. I said, why aren't you DLP ESIC? I know everything. And even when he tried to say he had cancer, and I said, I graduated at Val Victorian as a medical assistant. And I said, you're telling me they took out a growth, tested it, determined it benign or cancerous, and then recommended, chemo? I said, they won't recommend something like that without a diagnosis. And literally, I said, when I was there for kicking everything and had to go cold turkey without even going to the doctor and off my psych meds, which is a double whammy, I was going through it. I was snapping at people because I was like, not right now. Leave me alone. Like, especially Sarah, because I was like, I couldn't even, like, count to 5. I was like, leave me alone. Like, who is this? Like, and why is she so annoying? Like, it's just like, I was like, I even said, when do people come in sick, even in, like, locked up? If you're sick, they take care of you because they know how that feels. But Little Miss Princess went on a 2-week, like, relapse. I'm like, okay, people have been on longer benders. Like, she thinks that, I don't like when people glorify addiction like it's so cool. Like, so cool that we're in treatment. Like, as adults, it's like Disneyland. Like, what is cool and funny about this, and they make light of it. And I said, that'll get you sober because you're forgetting how that monster had you falling through these doors, but you're skipping out. I'm like, hey, yay, life, tap the screen, like tap into reality. How about that?
Wow. A fuck lot.
And I'm glad they're hating because I that'll make me even sober. Like, watch, I'm more sober than that sober living. That's embarrassing.
To the people in the comments as well, at any point, if Britt doesn't feel comfortable, we're not forcing her to speak. She's welcome to stop or to leave at any point.
No, I don't.
So
Yeah.
we're not forcing her.
There's consent, guys. Don't worry. I'm not even reading the comments. Sorry, I have ADHD and I just feel free. It's like I hit the ground running, like, oh, I can breathe again. Like that house was like, I don't know, that's a demonic. They need someone in there. I said, oh, no wonder I can't even like think straight. I said, what
Can
in
you talk a little more about that, please?
I don't even know who they said. Yeah, like I said, everyone was telling me. Even that's when Jack told me they illegally did the cat and all this stuff. We brought it in. And I said, but and cats can give like stuff to humans, which is probably why Sarah has so many things wrong with her. But anyway, no, they said that some guy has so many things that they performed an exorcism. And to me, like I'm like, what is that thing? Like superstitious. I was like, that explains why all you guys are just bringing out my character defects. Like, cause I don't know, something in the house that they're like, your anger. And service dog boy, Aaron, I said, because we had to do a fun fact to get in know with girls because me and Sarah were beefing so hard and all this stuff. So we had to do a fun fact. Well, then Sarah left because, like I said, whatever, who cares? Anyways, but what was it? Oh, I said, so the fun fact was that I had to take care of my baby daddy's stepsister when she tased him. And I said, because if a girl steps to your man, that's what you're supposed to do. And then Aaron goes, interesting. And I said, see, that's antagonizing me. I said, that interesting? I've swung for less. I said, what do you mean? Like, I don't, what's so, I said, please, like, I don't understand why they are forgetting this is my county and that, like they want to be from the streets. Like, that's embarrassing to glorify that lifestyle when a lot of them are just, they have no choice. They're broken. And I said, look at how I act. Like, what they glorify or look up into me, I said, that shows me how the world broke me, but I just don't know how to change who I am. It's all I've known. And trust me, glorifying something that takes lives every day, whether it be addiction, street, these women that are falling. See, like Allie will break because of that guy she fall in love. Nick, I won't even trip over a speed bump over that guy. Like, I don't care because I'm solid. I wasn't looking for something in him. He just looked up something in me and treat me, you get bored. I can't fight. I'm like, I got to choose something. And the other guy's like, it just wasn't going to happen.
And did Pat make any promises? Like, did Nick ever tell you if Pat made promises to Nick about, like, him being at the house and what's going to happen if he's, like, helping out with all these videos, shit like that?
Oh, yeah, I remember the first day they were trying to take me to treatment. Nick was showing me. I didn't care to say, oh, no, I know who you are. Trust me. But he's like, oh, yeah, I have this followers, all this stuff. And I didn't say a word, so I think that's why he was like, oh, I didn't know you were on TikTok, but I didn't want them to associate me with TikTok. I wanted them to learn me and separate it. Like, but he had said, he's like, yeah, Pat made me had a post, so I did it like a good boy. His little milk cow or something like that. Something like where he's like, yeah, like, you know, I'm his little content. Like, it's like laughing. But I was like, what? Like, I said, are we here to get sober and heal or to make content? Because I could have done that using, honestly. Like, it was just like, whatever. And he was nice and sweet. And I thought he was like for the other side at first. I thought. And all the guys.
You guys thought the same.
I was like confused.
Put up that
that's how it
screenshot?
happened. I was confused.
Of what?
Then he started saying that Allie came up.
I like men.
I was like, I thought it was like the gay bestie type vibe, zesty and stuff. But then he told me how the internet, because I didn't have my phone, he's like, they're calling us Brick, like Brit and Nick. Oh my God, I saw your comments where it was like almost 300 likes where they're like, Nick's going to go for this one.
Britt, look above you. That's actually Nick Harris in our chat.
Last week, saying, I like men.
Trust me. Okay, like the silicone toys, like shaped as a male anatomy. They found those in the guys' room and not the girls. I was like, hello, and like those guys all talk about eggplant more than they ever talk about the women. And I was like, I said, I don't. And then I heard that. Oh my God, him and I'm not gonna say his name because I care about him. But there was another guy that I heard ban stuff, and then when I told Nick, he got mad, and I was like, you know what? Are you guys just like desperate? Because that's one thing. Like, I don't know, but I also have issues, and I don't like. I try not to go for the guys that ruin my life, and so I go for like the ones that I don't care if they leave me. I guess I don't if that sounds right. Like I knew he couldn't break me. Like, so it was like a safe person to where I was like, well, if it works out, great, and if it doesn't, I'm still great. Like, okay. But that's what I mean. And then I even told him when we were trying not to get caught, I said, act gay. I said it. I said, they don't just appear. That's when they didn't notice anything. But Allie came up to me, and I didn't trust her, which, see, I should have known. My mouth, I swear. She comes up, and she's like, are you and Nick or whatever? And I was like, I played it off. And she's like, I think Nick has a thing for you. And I even said, like, but then, yeah, I don't know how it happens. And rehab, you be doing some weird stuff, I guess. Even like they won't let you have energy drinks because some guy used to slam 20 and then go like play disco in his room on himself. Like why is that my problem? I know detox, you can't have energy drinks, but like it's just a lot of weird. I don't know. And then they were popping for like WED and all this stuff, and it's just that's normal, as long as you deny it and say no. I'm a heavy user. Like that's what we all said. Like the ones that are refusing a drug test, like I don't know how that's, but it's just so I never thought, I thought I'd just be at that reflection table anyways for weeks because they already slammed me with like 12K words. I wrote 4K in one day and all over stuff like that wasn't even true, but you can't fight a strike or it's another 100K. I said, I'm going to be writing so many words. I won't even be able to remember like recovery. I said, for a year, a year. I said, that'll happen. Not. And every time I packed my bags today, so it must have been a sign. And then I stayed because of Jose. And then Allie, she's sitting there like, but I guarantee you Allie will be back because she'll cry. She'll say a fake apology like they all. Nick will sit there and go, guys, I'm going to do better. I deserve this. And all this, I'm like, I ain't going to tell you what I want to hear. Bye. Adios.
So who failed the drug test there? Do you know?
Jack and then the guy Allie was with.
Oh,
He
Pete.
popped for magic cabbage.
I have a question though, Britt, because the other week we saw the end of a conversation where Allie it sounded like she was apologizing that she had maybe made out that her and Keaton's relationship was more than it was.
But she lied. She said she lied about it.
So like his words got reduced. They both had got 75K.
Now they have another 100K because they've smashed like 10 times. And she's trying to have a baby by him.
Oh my God.
Why is she trying to have a baby?
She tried to lie. I admit it. Like I said, as soon as they said Ralph's, I said, yep. Like shopping sprees, I don't know what to tell you. Like, okay. And I'm thinking like, all right, 50K, like whatever. And if I'm going to do something, I already know the punishment, but I never thought that leaving. I would have thought about it. It wasn't worth it enough to get kicked out or whatever. That's besides the point. But fucking, I was like, didn't you and the man tell me that you and Keaton want to get married, have a baby, that next month you're not going to take your Depo shot, which why would I know that info? I have a good memory because people don't believe me.